In this short video, we'll give you some methods about how to start studying Chinese and partnering up with a language partner to spur you on. Okay, so everybody gets scared about learning Chinese characters. Some people to the point of putting them off even starting learning Chinese. But with a good learning method, you can ease yourself into them. If you're starting learning Chinese and want to see quick progress and not get daunted by it, I'll share with you some tips. There's a reason why Chinese is considered one of the most difficult languages in the world to learn. With numerous characters and tones, there's a lot to it. But like anything complex, those that succeed know how to break it down into manageable chunks and get clear what's important and what's not at each stage. Here's some advice on how to prioritize when learning Chinese. Tip 1. The first step is to make speaking out some simple phrases in Chinese your main priority. Put your energies on this aspect and put much less time on the tones and characters at this stage. Just get used to the sounds of Chinese and then coming out of your mouth. So, why exactly are you suggesting making speaking out Chinese phrases your first priority and not the characters and tones? When you see yourself quickly speaking out some basic phrases, it will give you confidence to continue. You will quickly see that you can use Chinese as a tool for communication. Beginner Chinese software can be good for this, where you can listen to a phrase many times by the simple press of a button and repeat what you hear. You can download free software from our site to do this.
Tip 2. Get out there and make it real. Convert learning Chinese from a boring classroom exercise. Get out there and start using the language for real as soon as possible. It doesn't matter if you're just starting. Just do it. Bin the excuses. Take the plunge. Don't be worried about making mistakes. Making mistakes is an opportunity to learn. So how to do this? Find a language exchange partner exchanging your English for their Chinese online or in person. Get them to help you pronounce the words correctly using the correct tones and help you speak out simple sentences. Then, a little down the line, when you have a collection of simple sentences, get them to help you create simple dialogue using phrases you've already learned. At that point, you've converted learning Chinese from a boring classroom exercise into a real-life useful exchange. When you get to the point you can exchange some phrases, you will now be able to fit new words you have learned into the phrases you can already speak out. Seeing yourself develop by expressing yourself in a slightly different way, speaking out phrases, incorporating new words, makes the language of Chinese come alive, fantastic for your motivation. Then you are killing two birds with one stone. Not only will you be practicing new words, but you are ingraining previously learned stuff deeper into your mind. For improving your speaking, repetition is key. Having the chance to speak out phrases many times starts to ingrain what you have learned into your mind, where you'll be able to recall it faster and with less mental effort. When this happens, you know you are making real progress. Advice on finding online and offline language partners can be found on our website in the resources section.
Tip 3. Use your Chinese language partner to ask about all the things you're curious about Chinese culture and thinking. When your relationship develops, they will probably be willing to open up to you about their real feelings and opinions about what is really going on in China. They will let you understand things you never knew about. The curiosity and the exchange of culture really create an exciting swapping of views and ideas. The more you know about China and the Chinese people, it makes learning Chinese take on a new significance. So gives you an extra boost of motivation.
Tip 4. Make your exchange partner or teacher correct you ruthlessly. Some people are too polite or too lazy to correct you. Someone willing to correct your every mistake is key. It will also help you drill the tones into your head. Believe me, this is needed. You don't want to be thinking your mistakes are right and getting used to saying mistake-filled sentences. It will be harder to change these dirty habits later. Some teachers or language exchanges think it's not polite to correct you or even find it boring. Tell them not correcting you is hurting your Chinese. If they are not willing to change, find a new person. You don't want to spend your time learning a language, then use it in a real situation and nobody has a clue what you're talking about.
Tip 5. Write out the tones and phonetic alphabet called pinyin after you speak out a phrase. When speaking out a phrase, write out what the sound of each word is using the Chinese phonetic system, pinyin, with a tone mark above each word. Then get your exchange partner or teacher to check it. This is a good way to reinforce your knowledge and get used to which tone a character has, and it's good for reviewing materials on your own. Most foreigners find remembering the tones for each character, then say it correctly, and at the speed needed for speaking really hard. A good method and lots of practice is a must. If you want more tips on how to learn Chinese, download free learning Chinese software or listen to a podcast about people's experiences living in China. Go to brainstormlanguages.com or click on the link below.